Blackburn Rovers already said goodbye to a couple of established players this past summer, as we said goodbye to Tyree Stolen, and of course Callum Britton has just joined Middlesbrough. But what about the futures of some two very important players for Blackburn Rovers? What is the future in store for Lewis Travis and Sondre Tronstad? Today, we're going to talk about it. That's right, folks, but once again with another video. Today we take a look at the futures of two important massive components of this Blackburn Rovers team. We talk about Lewis Travis and Sondre Tronstad as they enter the back end of the transfer window with their contracts expiring at the end of May. Will they stay? Will they go? What is going to happen? We're going to talk about it in just a second. Big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, where have you been? Smash your subscribe. You want some show for Blackburn Rovers, transfer window, EFL Championship. We've got it all here under one rooski. That's so I sat down with the guys to talk about all things this past week. And one of the main topics of contention was the future of our captain and, of course, his midfield partner in crime there, Sondre Tronstad. Well, we're going to talk about it in just 1 second, but before that, I'm going to hand over to Eddie to talk about things, including away day travel.
Ewood Eddie here with some news on our brand new scheme we're looking to implement in the 2025-2026 campaign. What is it? Well, it's affordable away day travel. That's right, us at Blackburn Rovers Seas hope to implement this brand new scheme for each and every one of the away days taking place in the upcoming campaign. Right now, we're just in the planning stages and we want to know if you are interested in away day travel for the upcoming season. Now, what I need you to do now is, of course, go to this link on the screen right about now. It's a QR code, or maybe drop down in the old description to follow the URL and fill out your name and, of course, maybe some contact information that we can reach out to you when we are 100% committed. Just a reminder that this is just the planning stage of this service. Nothing is 100% as of yet. But the more numbers and the names that we get down in the next few weeks, then, of course, then we'll have the ability to make this happen for you guys. Again, looking at what's available at the moment, this does look like an affordable option if we can get the support from you guys. And again, it's just a fantastic way for you to support the channel in another way. Back to you, Dirk.
Appreciate that, Eddie. Thanks again for your input about that. If you want to help, if you want to take a look at that, link should be down in the old description below. But now we're going to focus on the futures of our midfield dynamo, the duo, Sondre Tronstad and Lewis Travis. Are they going to be here at the end of the transfer window? Will they be here at the end of the campaign in May? Well, we're going to take a little look and chat about it with the lads.
Maybe I guess we don't know officially, but maybe we have concerns, and our concerns are probably all aligned. I'm talking about Travis. I'm talking about Hyam. I'm talking about Tronstad. All contracts that are going to expire next year. No options anymore. Do we see any hope in any of those three signings? Signing a contract extension, Holmesy, do you think?
I don't think so, Dirk, to be brutally honest. I mean, I think they're going to work to try and get them done, but no, I don't see much hope. I think they're going to play out their contracts and then move on. And that's a sad reality. I think it's of the last 5 years and the administration and the people behind the scenes who let it get to that situation. You know, you should be looking to renew contracts with 2 years to go, pushing pressure on them, making sure that they want it. Not waiting till the last year, till the contract's almost run down. And then they're thinking, well, why didn't these guys approach me last year or the year before? And all of a sudden, you've got options. You've got options to move on for free. You can get a bit more money because they don't have to pay the club for you. Agents are licking their lips. I have heard certain rumors that Tronstad's family isn't that happy and hasn't really settled into life in Blackburn. Don't know why. They obviously haven't met Jacob yet. But, Travis has been at Rovers for a long time, came through, had that little spell away. I think he was certainly more settled now with Eustace. Then, I don't know. I think it's all just with that last crop of players has been a bit of a mess contract-wise. I'm hoping that all gets sorted moving forward, with Waggett moving on, have a bit more business nuance, so to speak. And but unfortunately, I see these three players, or the players that you mentioned. I mean, out of all three important players, they're the spine of the team. You've got the centre back and two defensive midfielders. If you can keep them, put them on another 2-3 years, it'll go a long way to securing Rovers and prospects moving forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna divert these questions because I know I kind of got a feeling where you would go if I asked them the other way around. So, Jonty, I'm going to ask you this question. So, of the three, Travis, Tronstad, Dom Hyam, who do you think is more likely to sign a contract out of those three?
Ooh, that's $1 million question. You don't know where the heads are at. You don't know where they're financially. I believe that Britain's probably gone. They've offered him an extra 8, 9, 10 grand a week. Obviously, that's going to turn his head. That in his head will see them more ambitious. I think out of those three, probably Travis might be a little bit more loyal. I think it all depends. If we get off to a cracking start and by Christmas things are looking rosy, then we might be able to get another couple of season contracts out of them. But so it's really important. But I'm Hyam because of his age. Is he more likely to stay with Rovers? I think the first one to go will probably be Travis. Will be Tronstad. The least likely to go will hopefully be Travis, but I don't know. On that note, I'm going to hand back to you. Hopefully that's answered because my low battery is on 3%, so I'm going to cut off if I don't go and grab my battery.
Copy. That's fine.
That's not a euphemism. I'm
It's all good. You grab your battery. So, Jacob, here's one for you then. We are being held to ransom at a certain point, and Callum Britton was prime example of that. We sold him $3.5 million. Do we sell Travis? Do we sell Tronstad? What's your take on those two? Because basically the vulnerability of the players, it's in the players' hands. We're gambling. We're putting it all on the line here, and they're going to dwindle their contracts down. And realistically, do we see any hope in us getting promoted? With probably very slim chance of us getting in that. So, what do we do?
I think if you were to sell those three players right now, you'd literally be pulling the spine out of the team, and it worries me that next season we could be going into a season without that spine. You're taking a player out in Dom Hyam who played every minute last season. You're taking your captain out. You're taking Mr. Reliable out, who's a 7, 8 out of 10 every game. You take those three players out of that team, I think we'd be in for a relegation season next season. I'll be honest with you. I would be worried.
Would you be tempted to sell one to maybe finance an extension on like a Travis or something, or the other way around,
Yeah, I mean it's one of those where I can understand why the players aren't so willing to renew. I mean, Waggett's been gone, 2-3 months at this point since the women's team imploded, and we've still not got a replacement CEO. That just shows the state of the club right now, and from what's been seen about the job advert for it is basically, we want you to have no ego, we want you to have as little influence on things as possible. We just want you to take bullets for Sahel. You know what I mean? And yeah, it is just a mess behind the scenes. In answer to your question, I think the most sellable asset out of the three would be Travis. He's English. He's a tad younger than Tronstad. Obviously, he's a good few years younger than Hyam. If I could sell Travis to keep Tronstad and Hyam, tie them down to 2-3 year contracts, then I would. I probably would, because to lose all three of those next season would be a massive kick in the bollocks for this club.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are saying is like the Sydney Tavares coming in and the Axel guy coming in are mainly aimed at taking over the reins next season when these guys are probably going to be gone. So, and then the problem is, as always the players that have contracts are ones that we don't really want. I think Joe Rankin-Costello had a long ass contract, and I think Hedges has got I think he just signed a deal not too long ago. But it's definitely, and again, he doesn't seem to be going anywhere. I think, I don't know, he must have Valérien Ismaël sex tape or something like that. So he's got him under wraps, so it doesn't seem to want to drop him or he doesn't have anything bad to say about him. But anyway, so that, that's the situation we're in. Of course, yes, we got some new players in, but the question marks still remain on the future of, and again, like you said, the spine, it would be the spine. And we would lose Travis captain, and we'd lose Dom Hyam as vice captain. You know, who's next in line? Captain's armband. Do we have anybody at the moment?
Hedges.
Hedges. It probably is Hedges, but you know, I think was Kaminsky ever captain? Did he ever wear the captain's armband?
No,
Nail.
Buckley sometimes wears it, doesn't he? When Travis comes off and Buckley comes on, he gets the armband. Is Todd Camwell a captain?
No.
No.
Nah.
I think Carter could be a captain.
Hey, I was about to say Hayden Carter, maybe Scotty Wharton if he can kick on a little bit. I think Scotty Wharton's worn the
Yeah.
armband once or twice.
I think Pickering was captain of the crew back in the day.
Happened a few times.
Yeah, but maybe opportunity for whoever these guys coming in here to stake a claim. I think the Sydney guy may be Portuguese, but he is like English as well, so you know he might be able to. I'm not saying that's a thing that needs to be, but I think
he's very well spoken, isn't he, Sydney?
Yeah. He spent a lot of time in like Leicester in their academy, so he was.
Appreciate that, guys. Thanks for giving up a bit of your time, but of course now fully focused for the rest of the transfer window to see what will actually transpire. But before we go talk about, before that comes to fruition, we're going to give it over to Eddie to talk about Blackburn Rovers' 150th anniversary and, of course, those special memories.
Hey, with Eddie back once again, but this time I don't want your money. No, I want your name, your voice, your Rovers memories. That's right. We started a social media project over on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, showcasing 150 Blackburn Rovers memories. I've asked fans from around the globe to drop their Rovers memories, but of course I need more of them. That's right. 150 is a big number and we need some more, and that's where you come in. That's right. Whether it's the best player, best goal, best shirt, best moment in regards to Blackburn Rovers, I want to hear about it. So if you want to do that, again, follow that link. There is also one down in the description and drop it in there. Of course, that memory will be featured over on Twitter on a day of its own. And then, of course, together in a master video when we drop it on November the 5th to celebrate Blackburn Rovers' 150th anniversary. So please do me a favour and drop your Rovers memory. But anyway, once again, back to Dirk to wrap
Appreciate
up.
that, Eddie. Thanks again for giving up a bit of time to talk about that. And again, all information about that or a link to it is down below. And again, I'll let you know we're looking for new members of the Rover Seas Mafiosos. You could feature on a video such as this to talk about everything Blackburn Rovers. If you think if your voice needs to be heard in a bit more clarity, well, let us know, whether in the comments section, over on Twitter, and I'll reach out to you. And maybe you can be a part of our podcast team. And of course, our Vlogster, or even something behind the scenes. Anyway, let us know in the old comments. But until then, I'll see you soon when I return, whenever that is.